Shalom, Clinton X. We're just going to give it a few more moments to allow more people to come in. I hope you're doing well. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Shalom, family. I see you all in there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to talk briefly about something. You know, I had a troll try to send me a comment talking about they're going to get a vaccine and everybody's going to be returning back to work and everything's going to be back up and running. And I was like, how delusional are these people? Seriously, how delusional are these folks? Are they not paying attention to what's right in front of them? Or maybe it's a psychological thing. They really seriously can't handle what's to come. They can't handle the here and now. So I'm going to create some scenario that don't exist. Well, you know, many of us can't afford not to live in reality. We have to deal with the reality that's right in front of us. So now let's go back to the vaccine thing, which I find to be laughable. Now, I watched Anthony Fauci give his testimony last week. He said they still haven't figured this thing out. How the hell do you create a vaccine on something you didn't figure out yet? And what he said is true. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Now, I'm not going to read these articles, but I want you to see them. I want you to see what has come out recently. Okay, y'all, you know what to do. Give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Just give me a 1. Okay, give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you. Rabah family. Okay. Now, I just want you to see some of the recent articles that came out. 11 questions about the coronavirus we still can't answer. All right. So there are many things about this virus they simply cannot figure out. I was reading an article last night of a child that got the Kawasaki-like disease that came directly from coronavirus. This child had 2 heart attacks. Two heart attacks. A child. And they still can't figure out why the children are getting this. So, but it is a fact that the kids are getting a form of coronavirus. Is just appearing different in them than it is the adults, which proves this thing has already mutated. So we got adults with it, and it shows symptoms one way, and it shows symptoms an entirely different way in the children. Then it's already mutated. It doesn't take a rocket scientist for you to see that. All right, so here is another article dated May 18th, USA Today. Something we've never seen before. Scientists still trying to understand baffling, unpredictable coronavirus. Now, I want y'all to think about that. Now, how the hell do you create a vaccine on something you don't understand? That's just like me walking up to you and I give you a scalpel and I tell you to go fix somebody's brain that's having seizures. If you don't know anything about how the human brain works, even with that scalpel in your hand, how are you going to fix that person? You can't. But these folks want us to trust a vaccine that they're going to put out for a virus they have no understanding about, y'all. Do you know how dangerous that is? There is no way anybody should be comfortable even with the concept of a vaccine, and your medical professionals and your scientists are saying to you, we don't really understand this thing. Okay, we don't understand it. Okay, so no, I'm not taking any of your cures. I'm not taking any of your vaccines because you have made it known you don't know nothing about what you're making the vaccine for. Do you know how many people will die from this vaccine if they give it and they don't even understand the virus? COVID toes was revealed a week ago. Swollen toes, sores and lesions on the toes. They don't even understand that. But there is no damn way. And just chew on this one too, family. The Kawasaki-like disease that's cropping up in children is spreading. More and more children, it's new cases of it every day. And Trump is sitting there talking about sending these kids back to school like that with this stuff out. There is no way any parent with a fraction of a brain, you would never send your child out knowing that kind of stuff is out there. But he's talking about reopening schools? Are you kidding me? Really, these folks, ladies and gentlemen, that are marching and screaming in the street, they are actually setting the country back. If you had a chance of this thing slowing down in the summer, they just blew it. They just went back out in the streets and they're catching it and spreading it to even more people. So at this point, there is no way this thing is going to disappear in the summer. There's no way that is even possible. If people would have stayed put and gave it some time to slow down, you might have had a chance. These folks are so impatient. They won't even give it time to slow down. You have zero chance of getting rid of this in the summer. And they're just not thinking clear enough to even realize what they've done. You've just set everything back by running in the streets, complaining and marching in the streets. No mask, no glove, nothing. So how are you going to get rid of this thing now? You couldn't. You would have to be a fool to believe this virus is going somewhere, and these folks don't even have enough patience to let this thing drop, the numbers drop of the people that are infected. It is ridiculous. All right. I have a few more. I'm going to share my screen again. There are a few more things I want to show you. Okay, and this will explain why they are itching to get out here and fast track a vaccine and I said this before, I'm going to say this again. Why would anybody take a rushed vaccine? Why would anybody want to take that? I don't want no vaccine that you had to rush through to give to people. You know, yeah, the vaccine, they said it takes at least 18 months. And when you throw in clinical trials, it can be beyond 2 years before they're ready to give this thing to people. They're not even doing that. They are fast tracking a vaccine and they expect us to all want it. Are you kidding me? I'm not taking no rushed vaccine. Okay. Listen, look at the headlines right here. Let me make sure I share my, oh yeah, I did share it. Let me go back. Look at the headlines that are coming out. This is May 18th, 2020. We're already in a Great Depression. You would have to be, it's been 9 weeks, y'all. 9 weeks of sitting at home. I don't care what they reopen at this point in time. There is no way this economy is going to even, you're not making money. So, I mean, I was looking at some of the other headlines. Oh, they're going to, they reopened with 25% of the businesses open. They reopened at 50%. That's not going to make, so, okay, so you opened at those levels. These states aren't making one dime at those levels. They're not making no money. So you're reopening the place, running the risk of people getting it, and you're not making any money. If you are not opening this economy at pre-COVID levels, like back in February, anything you do now, you're not making any money. You're not making anything. These states aren't making a damn thing. And remember, you still got 36.5 million people sitting at home. Here's another one. Look at what this one says. Falsy, U.S. economy won't recover until coronavirus control. They're admitting it. Okay, so you are admitting that this economy is not coming back unless there's some kind of way you can control this thing. All right? And we know they have no cure because they still don't even understand the virus. They don't understand it. You know, I mean, this is just ridiculous. These folks are never going to accept that this place is gone. It's gone. And there's nothing they can do to bring this place back to the way it was. It's never going to be the same. Look, I was reading that even if they got the economy back, because so many people in the country are unemployed, it would literally take up to 5 years to get the unemployed back working. People will be waiting years to get jobs. Do you understand that? Right now, if jobs open, you would have hundreds of thousands of people competing for one job. That is exactly what would happen right now. Do you know how hard it would be to even get your resume seen with that amount of people competing for just one job? But that's exactly what's going to happen. So some people are going to have to accept the fact that they may be unemployed for the next up to 5 years. I don't believe these people can hold out that long. Look, they can't even hold out for 9 weeks. How are they going to hold out for years trying to get another job up in here? Because, I mean, look, they're already saying a lot of these companies are not going to rehire their employees at the same salary they were making pre-COVID virus. So, number one, you're going to have to deal with the fact that you're going to make less money to do the same job. And now those companies are going to justify it by saying, well, we don't have that kind of money because the country was shut down. We can't pay you that same salary. We can't offer you those same benefits. What are you going back to? Think about it. What are you really going back to? What you left back in March is not what you're going to get if everything reopens. Your job and all the circumstances at your job is going to be totally different. Now, they're talking about reopening companies with social distancing, which I'm telling you, that's never going to work. That's never going to work because all of you, even if they spaced everybody apart, you're still sharing the same bathroom. You're still sharing a lot of the same offices, office space and everything. It's going to be too difficult. They didn't build all of these locations and schools and even shopping. They didn't build these places for social distancing. Even the last time I went to get some produce, everybody was spaced apart, but the bottom line is we all had to walk past each other to get to certain parts of the produce market. So when we're walking past each other, we're not social distancing. I just think that's, it is just so unrealistic. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I would recommend, if it's possible, for you to start looking for something else you can do to make money. That's really going to be your only hope. If you can come up with something that you can do online, you should go with that. The only thing I can do, if you got a business and you start something and you got it up and running, I can help you out. I'll put something in the community tab to send people over to your website or whatever you got going. But everybody needs to consider that. What these people are recommending to us, to me, is unrealistic. And nothing they are suggesting is workable at this point. But see, on the other hand, they know they can't do this thing without us. Esau can't run this all by himself. Now, they'll talk all that shit claiming they can, but we know reality shows us that they have never ran anything all by themselves. That's a blatant lie. And they're not going to run everything by themselves this time around either, ladies and gentlemen. They're not. That's why they're trying to threaten you to go back out there to a job. Oh, well, we'll cut you off from unemployment. And if you don't come off, we consider you quit, and that kind of lame ass stuff. They have to threaten you because they can't run this by themselves, y'all. They can't. If everybody is not out here working together, Esau cannot do it all by themselves, nor have they ever done it all by themselves. That is just bullshit. Okay. I mean, they can believe whatever they want. I know what the reality is. Thank you, Night to Shady, for the super sticker. So, ladies and gentlemen, just beware. They're going to be coming around us talking all unrealistic. Just look at everything in a very realistic way. If they want to talk like there's some fantasy going on and this whole place is going to be up and running and we're going to get this vaccine on an illness that they know nothing about, and we're going to accept that and we're going to all be fine, you got to get your head examined because that ain't going to happen. Okay, I'm sorry. I am not accepting no vaccine from some medical scientists and medical doctors, and they don't even understand this whole thing. That doesn't even make sense that you would even want anything from them. Look, these folks have not come up with a cure for the common cold. They got a flu vaccine out, and every single year people die of the flu, and even people that got the shot die of the flu. And they haven't even perfected the damn sunscreen. So what makes you think they're going to perfect something as complex as the coronavirus? They're not. Thank you, Big John Hayes, for the super sticker. Wow. Yeah, I'm just telling you, all the places, and I was looking at Texas. Texas reopened. Their numbers are going up. Georgia, I looked at Georgia and Florida this morning. Their numbers went up. Here in my state, the numbers went up. I just don't know. What do you expect is going to happen if everybody gets back out there? You're going to have to close everything again. What a waste of time. So just be careful, ladies and gentlemen. And, if nothing else, go by your instinct. If your governor reopens the state and it just don't feel right for you to be out there, don't go out there. I was talking to some of my relatives in Georgia and Florida, and they both said the same thing. I was talking to my aunt on my mother's side of the family, and she said, I don't care what they reopen. I'm not going out there. I said, I hear you. And my uncle said the same thing in Florida. He said he didn't care what Ron DeSantis reopened. The hell with that. He was going to stay where it was safe. And that's exactly what we need to do. So with Trump standing there talking about we need to reopen schools, Trump can kiss my ass. I sure wouldn't send no child of mine out there over anything Trump says. I mean, we're taking advice from a man that told you to use disinfectant in the body. I mean, come on. I mean, that is enough to make me laugh right there. But we're supposed to take his advice, y'all. Well, even if it is a common cold, they sure can't figure it out. Every week they're coming out with something new about this thing, and each thing they're coming out with destroys the body, destroys an organ, destroys your brain. It just ravishes the whole body. Thank you, Lady Rule, hashtag ADOS B1. Thank you for the super chat. Second wave will occur. Stay home, let them be experimented on. Shoot, they haven't even fixed the first wave. They're not even patient enough to let the first wave fizzle out. Yeah, well, they can say so without all of us. They can say so without all of us. Now, it's one thing if you want to be out there committing suicide, go right ahead, but you don't get to drag all of us with you. So your discretion is more important than anything these people say. That's what I would leave you with. Your discretion. And as I stated before, the separation that we're in right now, this is permanent. This is permanent, y'all. There is no coming back together again. It really isn't. Well, you know what, Cassie? Somebody had said that the reason why Trump don't look sick is because he took a vaccine. And I kid you not, the very next day, somebody made that statement. that's when people at the White House started getting sick. I think it was Pence's personal assistant had it, Trump's valet had it, Ivanka's personal assistant, she got it, and I'm like, okay, well, if y'all all got the vaccine, then shouldn't everybody at the White House be okay? So I don't know if I'm buying that. It wouldn't make sense to give a vaccine to Trump and Pence and not the people around them that they're going to encounter all the time. So, hey, yeah, you're right, Brenda Hill. That's why they're not going to figure it out, because it is it is a very divine thing. You're right. Yeah, Trump has looked sick and he sounds sick a couple of times. He really did. I picked up on it a few times. Yeah, a lot of the people that have it, like Cuomo's brother, Chris, they'll test negative and then they'll test positive again. All right, y'all. I'm not going to keep you too much longer. I just wanted to kind of go over this. I'm like, at this point, these trolls are so delusional. Like I said, I guess they just can't accept that their stolen country is falling, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the rest of your day. And as I tell you each and every day, I pray for all of you. I really do. I pray the Most High continue to keep his hedge of protection around each and every one of you and your families. And I pray that everything you need is furnished to you some kind of way. And just stay safe, family. You know what to do. You keep taking those supplements and drinking those teas and keep the immune system strong. Amen. Shalom, family.